Okay, Donovan.
Hey Don, how you doing? Good, how are you?
Since we do have quorum here, I am going to go ahead and call this study session to order at 6:30 p.m. We could all stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will remind everyone to please put their cell phones on silent and turn them off if they haven't done that already. So our study session this evening is just to discuss the topics that will be on our regular agenda this evening. So, I'm sorry, now, Jill, can you do the roll call first, please?
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
Reed. Here. Jackson.
Here.
Lawler. Brent.
Here.
And Mayor Snyder.
Here. And also, if I can remind everybody to make sure that their microphones are on, I think, especially with the units going, it'll be imperative to have them on. So we'll just go ahead and go down the list, and this is our opportunity to ask questions on certain agenda items that we'll be going over. So our first item is to approve the medical marijuana provisioning license renewal for Sunny's. Do I have questions?
Well, we can ask this in a regular meeting, but aren't they closed?
So the retail store is closed, but this is
This is a provisioning license, so...
the package. So the packet, yep. So this.
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. They're on your desk. So Colin, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so they are not in operation, but they don't have to be in operation to obtain a license. So this is just a renewal of their existing license. Whether or not they operate again in the future, I guess will be up to them. But they have applied and they've paid their fees, so.
Yes, and when this went before the Planning Commission, the attorney was in attendance, and he did share that they could turn utilities and everything, they still are active, so they could jump right back into providing service. They just made the business decision to temporarily close at this time, but they wanted to maintain their license, so they applied for a renewal.
Councilwoman Reed?
This is metal. This is metal.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions about the first item? The second is to approve the adult use grower and processor permit for Panacea Health Solutions.
Now I take it this is someone new?
Something new?
Yeah, this is a new company.
Well,
Colin, go ahead.
so, yes and no. It is new in terms of the company name, but it involves individuals that were part of a different company, if my memory serves, and they split off and basically formed their own. But yes, my understanding is if it's not Panacea or whatever, is new, but they did go through the entire process. It was reviewed, all the departments have signed off and they paid their fee.
Is this the same as the one from the previous week? What was that, like a month ago maybe?
I don't think so.
The transfer?
No.
Okay,
And is
gotcha.
this medical or is this recreation?
This is grow and process for adult use.
So that's recreation.
Mayor Pro Tem Jackson, did you have a question?
Well, that is one of the questions that he answered. He asked one question, the other one was about a permit. So this is in here in this packet?
Yes, so that is the license. It's a permit or license, so they're applying for a grower and a processor license. They're located within our industrial park, which allows the growing and processing of adult use or recreational marijuana.
So again, both of these were approved by the Planning Commission. That's why they're being brought to us here at City Council.
I'm just making sure it's not recreational.
The second one is.
Is recreation, okay,
It's just grow and process though.
just grow and process.
Correct.
Because it don't say that, so that's why I'm asking. All right.
Adult use is recreational.
Grower and then processor permit. Okay, because you gave me the permit right here. Okay.
Do you have any other questions on either one of these applications? Okay. Discussion, any questions on the 2022 biennial bridge inspection proposal? Seeing none, we'll go on. Oh, Mayor Pro Tem Jackson, go ahead.
I guess my question is, I had a couple, because I know the last meeting and the meeting before, we granted additional money to this company due to some additional fees that needed to be taken care of on the North Street. And I was
Yes.
like, I'm not sure, but North Albion Street. And I was like, okay, what's this? And then on the next one, we did also approve Haven Road. Some additional, so what is this?
So
fee?
those are separate projects outside of this. So this is we're required to inspect our bridges every other year. So this is the proposal for Whiteman to come out and do the biannual bridge inspections, which are required by the state of Michigan. They have to be done by August. So what you approve, the additional funding to go towards North Albion Street, that's tied to that replacement project. Due
Okay.
to the age of the structure, they had to do additional historical attesting. So that's what you approve there. And then for Haven Road, we received the grant funding to redo Haven Road as in addition to River Street, but that included, they'll do some preventative maintenance on the Haven Road Bridge. So that's included in that road project. So those are totally separate from this. This is a requirement that we get this done every other year by the state of Michigan.
Okay. I did see that in date of August 2022, so. All right, answer my question. Thank you.
Any other questions on this topic? Questions about our IRS vehicle lease for ADPS?
I had some questions. I wanted to know what it did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Jackson, what questions do you have?
So just explain to me a little bit more about the vehicle. I guess the reason I was asking that, because I seen what the price was of the $799. That, and it sees that this is more feasible to do it this way. Sounds like there's your maintenance and everything is included in this lease if something was to happen, correct?
Yes,
To the
they
vehicle?
paid for absolutely everything.
Okay.
We've been doing this since 2011
Yeah, I seen that.
on all the vehicles. Both myself and Detective Wygant get a vehicle from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they only do a 3-year lease. They won't buy us a vehicle, or they won't do, like on the police packages, we could do like a lease to own.
Mm-hmm.
but they won't do that because they can't give us anything that has, sounds very weird, but they can't give us anything with equity. So they'll pay for this car with a high mileage lease, but they can't buy it for us even at a cheaper rate. It's the federal government. So it's the best way to describe it. So my lease is up. It's actually, they want it early because it's low miles and they want it to get out there. So it's time to renew it. So that's all.
Okay, I just wanted to know some Jessica.
Councilman Williams?
Thank you. This vehicle, will it also be used as a patrol car?
No.
No? Okay.
It can't have anything, it cannot have any lights in it because that then violates the terms of the lease. It's just a regular civilian
Gotcha.
vehicle.
Okay. Perfect.
Any other questions for? Can you give us one?
I'm pushing it with 2. If I could, I would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions on our food vending permit application fee?
Just so nothing's going by the wayside, everything that we had discussed previously is in there, right? Meaning the changes that we made previously to the 100 feet or whatever. Now, did we change the fee schedule for the vending licenses?
This is what you're doing tonight. So you guys formally adopted the ordinance to allow for mobile food vending or food trucks. Now we need to set a fee for those businesses to obtain a permit and begin operating. So we have that recommendation for you to set, and then we have an amended fee schedule to then include that fee for formal approval.
So when we get to that, it's actually on page 65. That's where we're going to, and then on the fee schedule, the following pages, they're highlighted in the gray.
65 on yours?
So page, actually the first is
Yeah, I
page
got it.
67.
67, yeah.
So was it that there wasn't any before previously? Okay, because we didn't have an ordinance. Gotcha.
Yep, you guys established the ordinance, and the next step was to determine if we to go with that ordinance. So that's what we're doing now, so that we can allow these businesses to begin operating.
Now, the vendor permits for the resident, the $250, and the vendor permit for non-residents, the $400, that's annually?
Yes, that's for the year, or they can do a temporary vendor permit, which is $30 or $45.
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
And, yep, Mayor Pro Tem Jackson?
Yeah, I looked at them and I thought they were kind of high until I just did by month. And I was like, whoa, you want to make some money, you got it. You can take care of it, you can do this.
That's for the year, yep.
Yeah, for the year.
Any other questions on the fee schedule? Do we have any questions in regards to the park reservation fees for nonprofit organizations?
I still think that there should not be any, but that's okay. I'll vote how I think.
I'm sorry, Councilman Reed, I can't hear you that well.
I said that I saw what it was going to be, and I still think that it should be lower, but that's okay, because I'll vote.
Vicki?
Yeah.
So, I haven't read the ordinance. What's the fee for for for-profit entities by comparison?
I believe for the,
Right here. It's on page 68.
for a resident, it's $75 for a pavilion, $100 for a non-resident, so it's
So it's
half
only
of
a-
what?
It's like
It's a
20%.
30, yeah.
25%.
Okay, thanks.
Just to give a little background, as I believe it was Councilmember Lawler asked that I look into creating a formal process in doing this, so I reached out to the NME listserv to see how other communities were handling this. Everybody responded that they do not completely waive a fee for a nonprofit, that they offer them a lower amount. It's technically, that is illegal to offer public service for free to a private organization, so I want to make sure that we are, yes, following the law, and there's a cost for our crew to come out to clean up, to maintain, replace equipment there, so I think we do need to have some type of fee in place for everybody to take advantage of our amenities.
Are there any questions in regards to adding our delinquent miscellaneous receivables to 2022 summer tax bill?
Ms. Mayor,
Yep, Councilman Williams?
is that typically how it's done? We typically do it that way?
Yes, so we do it this time every year, so we are in preparation of creating and releasing summer property taxes. And so any miscellaneous receivables, that could be anything that was abatements through code enforcement or any other outstanding invoice. So council has to formally approve those to allow for Director Mead to include that in the summer property tax. So this is a standard process. We do it every year.
Gotcha.
Similar to the delinquent utility bills.
So with that being said, any questions about adding the delinquent utility bills to the 2022 summer tax bills?
I guess the only thing I had was that when she talked about the one before, when it says miscellaneous, so they don't make sure they double, correct? Like they can add something double, because now on the other one it says utility bills, and the first one says miscellaneous. And utility bill could be miscellaneous, it could be,
They're kept track under a different, so they're not combined, so our system knows how to separate the two. But there could be a possibility where a resident has delinquent miscellaneous receivables as well as delinquent utility bills, so they would see both of those added to their property taxes.
okay.
And they're included, there's a list of all of the delinquent
Yes,
utility
exactly.
bills as well as the miscellaneous receivables as well.
Do we have any questions in regards to the resolution to set the 2022 tax levy? Mayor Pro Tem Jackson.
Yes, I just like for her to go over all of that the levy, because that's 4 items. Those are meals, those are dollars and cents. So I need to get the gist of that before I can say yes.
I don't know, Director Mead, if you want to kind of weigh in. But again, this is something that is done every year that sets the levy amount. And it's in accordance with the Headley Amendment, so.
And I apologize, with the man sitting next to me, I didn't hear the whole question. Could,
Just when you just go down to 4 items and just abbreviate or give some kind of
sure.
why such of these dollars.
Okay, so the operating tax, the first one, operating taxes, is the general fund operating that we get from the property tax, which is about 1/3 of the general fund's revenue. And every year, the equalization department looks at what by law, it can't, with the Headley Amendment, it can't go up more than a certain amount. There's a complicated formula that they look at to make sure that, because obviously you can go up if you have new construction or, expansion and new equipment or something from businesses and stuff like that. But just for value of the market improving and stuff, there's a cap on how much it can go up each year. So if the taxable values jump up too much, then they say, okay, you can't levy the full amount of your tax. And that's kind of been the case. We didn't have to worry about that since About 2008 on, our property tax values went down. It turned around 2018, it kind of bottomed out. In the last couple of years, it's been coming up. So the last couple of years, we have not been able to levy the full amount, because if you see in the column 4, you know, we were authorized at one time to levy 12.5 mils. We can't do that now because our taxable value has been increasing, and because of that cap from the Headley Amendment, equalization's telling us the most we can levy is the 11.7201, which is in column 10. And it's kind of the same for all of those. We're not able to levy the full amount stated in 4, or column 4. And of course, the operating list for streets, that's the one that does all of our street reconstruction projects. The operating for recreation is what goes in the recreation millage. It stays in that fund, I mean, that goes in the recreation fund. It stays in that fund for strictly recreation purposes. And solid waste is what we operate the solid waste fund, like the landfill, the pre-dump and that stuff out of solid waste with. So those are all the 4 millages that we will levy, and column 10 is telling us the maximum amount that we can levy in each of those, if that answers your question.
Yes, Tom, it does. Thank you for your time and your experience.
Absolutely.
So Tom, with the proposed increases, we're still lower than the original set by charter, correct?
Correct. In fact, the last 2-3 years, it's come down a little bit on what we can levy. I think last year was like 11.8 something or other, and now we're down to 11.7. So yeah, it's been coming down each year as our taxable value goes up. So it's kind of one of the things that the Michigan Municipal League has been arguing with legislation in Lansing about is when taxable value falls, there's no cap. It can drop like a rock, if the market goes bad, real estate doesn't sell. But then when the economy finally turns, they put a cap on, and it takes years and years and years to get back to where you were when the market fell because of that cap. It only allows you to go little incremental steps each year. So.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Do we have any questions in regards to the foreclosed property? So Ian, I do have a couple of questions, hoping maybe you can help answer. So as I'm reading this, it sounds like this lot was once under the Land Bank Authority, correct?
That is correct.
And then how did it not become?
So through one of the land bank's programs, they sold it, for lack of a better word, to its resident. And from what I understand, I've not seen this documented anywhere, but from what I understand, he was dissatisfied with the cost of the property taxes on it, and so he chose to stop paying the property taxes. So now it's just, as any other property would, coming back to the land bank.
Okay. And so the diagram on the next page, is that the boundary of
Yeah,
that?
the GIS map, round planet square map, so it distorts a little.
Okay. And my only concern is that it looks like that the property lines encroach upon that house on Ionia Street.
Is that the one, you're talking about the kind of top left of the image there?
Yeah.
So I believe that was the order that it's leaving possession of.
Okay.
So the property lines in situations like that where you have open backyards, they're not often really clear to residents. The GIS image that you can see is often up to 10 feet wrong in any direction. So it's a good guide, but it's not like a survey. So he's not going to lose any part of the yard that his house is sitting.
And that was my concern, like if there was encroachment and it went back to the land bank, and if that person who currently owns the property, he lives there, and if it's encroaching on his property, it would be very hard for anybody else to do anything with that lot.
Yeah, I mean, it can certainly cause an uncomfortable situation, but what the survey stakes show, and I'm sure there's stakes in the ground there, that's what's legal. So
Okay.
if there's any issue with that with the resident going forward, though in this case where he's working so closely with the land bank, they were aware that he was going to stop paying taxes on it. I don't really foresee that being an issue.
Colin?
I just wanted you to be aware we got all 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
We need to leave time for
Yeah.
public comment.
So they own the smaller parcel on the corner right below it.
Yep.
We are refusing, or we're denying our shot to get the property and hoping that it goes just to the land bank now and that they can bring it back into their programs to get it into the hands of a resident.
Right, thanks. Those were the questions that I had. So just to be mindful of time, I'll go ahead and open it up for public comments. So if there's anybody in the gallery that would like to stand, you have 3 minutes to address council. All right, doesn't look like we do. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Support.
All right. City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Reed. Jackson.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes?
French.
Yes.
And Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Study session adjourned, 6:56 PM. We have 3 minutes and then we'll come back.